Christi, as our alumni of the ROA program, she got really passionate about food systems, food justice, and food quality and safety. She started questioning everything, and when COVID hit, she had a brand new baby and did a big pivot back into farming. She graduated MIU in 22 and has been in her current role as farm manager at Seed Savers Exchange for 9 months. She is passionate about restructuring our current agricultural and cultural systems in order to celebrate biodiversity. Also to increase equity, support regional foodways, and create special events and celebrations. Thank you, Christi, for coming. And we have a question for you today. Okay. What drove you to pursue a career in regenerative agriculture?
That's a good question. All right, I graduated from the ROA program in June last year, and I had been offered several jobs here in the local community, and I kind of had this moment of hot panic. And I bought an Airstream and took my kids on the road, and we went camping for like 6 months, and it was great. But what led me into regenerative agriculture in the first place was just really feeling this huge disconnect. I was a professional chef for a long time and really started to question where our food was coming from, what was in that food, was any of it healthy for us, and how had we been sold this kind of giant lie by the food industry, by food corporations, by cheap food, by big ag, by big pharma. It's like all the man behind the curtain, right? Once you start to really look deeply at a lot of this stuff. And I think at a certain point I thought I was going to be a veterinarian, like when I was a kid, and I did take some animal science classes. And when COVID hit, I was running a restaurant in Colorado Springs, and I almost immediately got out of that and moved here and started the program and realized what an amazing community there is here and what regenerative agriculture is and what it stands for. Kind of moving past the standards of organic and how much that's been co-opted, and the same things that, Francis was talking about. There's so many people trying to steal those words and steal that movement. And regenerative really offers not just sustaining, not just holding on desperately to what we have, but to actually rebuild the soil, to rebuild communities, to rebuild families, to rebuild our health and the biome and the relationships that we have. So I was offered a position as the field manager at Seed Savers Exchange, and I moved up to Decorah. I'm still kind of involved in the community down here, and it's not too far away, so I'm really glad to be here, to be able to reconnect with you guys and get a lot of hugs. That's really important, and to be here in this community and to realize I'm not that far away from a lot of people that really have supported my family and the growth of my children. But it's been really amazing to be at Seed Savers, and it's been in a big flux of change. It's coming up on the 50th anniversary of that organization being on that land. So I get to steward 900 acres. And there is cattle, and there are chickens, and there's other poultry, geese, and things like that. But mostly it's the seed that I'm stewarding. And as Faith so eloquently explained, the seed is such a powerful thing, and the control of that seed has been stolen by these giant corporations all over the world. And so really being able to dig my hands and my feet into the soil there in Decorah at Seed Savers and plant beautiful seed and harvest beautiful seed. And now I've been there through an entire growing season, and I'm thankful every day to be on the land and to be part of a biome and an ecosystem myself. And I think that that matters. And I think that if a whole lot more people were out on land and connected to the birds and the air and the plants and the foods that we're putting in our bodies, it would make a huge difference. And it's probably the only thing that really can, if you really listen to the soil scientists and the experts of this world that are speaking out about what we can do as humans where we are. That's what we can do. We can grow our own food. We can get reconnected with the food that we're growing and the seeds that we're planting and start asking all of those questions. Where is it coming from? What am I putting in my body? What am I feeding my children? And that's how we regenerate.